Have you ever caught yourself wondering, is this just how it is now? Maybe your energy doesn't bounce back the way it used to. Maybe days blend into each other a little too easily. Or maybe you just feel like life is slipping into a quiet routine, and not always in the best way. You're not alone in that feeling. And the good news is, things can change, sometimes in the most surprising ways. See, living longer isn't just about luck or good genes. More and more, researchers are finding that small changes, tiny daily choices, can add up in a big way. We're not talking about extreme workouts or cutting out every guilty pleasure. No, it's about gentle, doable shifts that work with your body, your rhythm, and your lifestyle. And the best part? These small tweaks don't just help you live longer. They can make your days feel fuller, brighter, more alive. In this video, we're going to talk heart to heart about 6 of those small but mighty lifestyle changes. They're simple, they're practical, and they just might give you more years, not just to live, but to really live. Let's begin with something that sounds almost too easy to matter: movement. Not the kind that requires fancy gym shoes or complicated routines, but the kind that simply keeps your body in motion. Many people over 60 assume that if they're not doing 10,000 steps a day or attending senior yoga 3 times a week, it doesn't count. But that's not true at all. It can be as simple as walking around your home every hour, or standing up during TV commercials, even swaying gently to your favorite music while you make lunch. What matters isn't how long or how far you move. It's how often you interrupt stillness. The body loves to move. When you keep it gently active, your blood flows better, your joints stay looser, your mood lifts, and your mind clears. Just a few extra moments of movement each day can reduce your risk of heart disease, stroke, and even dementia. And you'll feel it. Your energy starts to return in small waves. You'll feel less stiff, less tired, more alert. Now, while we're talking about gentle movement, let's also talk about something many people overlook: breathing. Yes, breathing. You do it all day without thinking. But have you ever paused to really notice it? Deep, mindful breathing is one of the simplest and most powerful ways to calm your nervous system. It helps reduce blood pressure, soothe anxiety, and improve sleep. And best of all, it can be done anywhere, while you're sitting in your chair, waiting in line at the store, or lying in bed at night. Just 5 slow, deep breaths in and out can change the way your body feels in that moment. It might sound small, but your breath is your body's reset button. It's a signal that tells your brain, I'm safe, I'm okay. Over time, practicing intentional breathing lowers chronic stress, the kind of stress that silently wears down your heart, your memory, and your immune system. So the next time you feel tense or tired, take a minute, close your eyes, inhale deeply through your nose, hold it for a few seconds, then exhale slowly through your mouth. Let everything soften. That simple pause can add calm to your day and, over time, years to your life. And then there's one more change, so simple but often underestimated: staying socially connected, not in a big, busy, overwhelming way, but in small, meaningful moments. A quick call to a friend, a warm chat with your neighbor, sitting with someone over tea, even if the conversation is light. Human beings are wired for connection, and as we get older, that need doesn't go away. It becomes even more important. Loneliness has been called the silent killer by health experts. It increases your risk of heart problems, depression, and even memory loss. But staying connected doesn't have to be difficult or dramatic. It can be as easy as checking in on someone, sending a kind message, or joining a small community group, even an online one. When you connect with others, you stimulate your brain, lift your mood, and create something that gives life its color: shared moments. These moments don't just make you feel good in the moment. They create a sense of purpose, of belonging, of being part of something beyond yourself. And that feeling, that's powerful. That keeps people going. That adds years, not just to your calendar, but to your heart. So far, we've looked at movement, breathing, and connection. They may sound simple, and they are, but each one carries more weight than it seems. It's not about perfection. It's not about starting everything at once. It's about choosing one small thing to begin with, one tweak you can make today, and letting it gently shape your routine. because that's how change happens. Not in giant leaps, but in steady, quiet steps. Over time, those steps build a path to a longer, stronger, more joyful life. Now, as we keep walking together on this journey, let's look at a few more lifestyle shifts that are just as powerful, just as doable, and just as life-changing. If we're being honest, some of the most important changes we can make for our health aren't flashy or dramatic. They're gentle shifts, like tuning a radio ever so slightly until the signal becomes clearer, the sound warmer. And just like we've talked about movement, breathing, and connection, there's another area that deserves just as much love and attention: what we eat. Now, I'm not here to tell you to toss out everything in your fridge or never enjoy a sweet treat again. Life's too short to live without a slice of cake now and then, right? But what if I told you that a few simple changes in your daily meals could give your body exactly what it needs to stay younger longer? Let's talk about food, not as a diet, not as a list of good or bad items, but as nourishment. Think of your plate like your body's fuel tank. The better the fuel, the smoother the ride. So one small tweak that can make a huge difference is simply this: add more color to your plate. That's right, add more color. Greens, oranges, reds, purples, yellows. Each one of those colors brings different vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that help protect your cells, strengthen your immune system, and even fight off diseases like cancer and Alzheimer's. Berries, spinach, carrots, tomatoes, sweet potatoes, even a handful of nuts. All of these feed your body with the good stuff. And the best part? You don't need to follow a strict plan. Just start by swapping one thing. Maybe a side of chips becomes a side of sliced cucumber with hummus. Or dessert becomes a bowl of fresh fruit with a drizzle of honey. It's about adding good things in, not taking everything out. When you start feeding your body with life-giving foods, it responds. You'll feel lighter, more energized, and your body will thank you in ways you can't always see, but definitely feel. Now, speaking of feeding ourselves, there's something else we don't often think about feeding: our minds. It's easy to believe that after a certain age, our learning days are behind us. But actually the opposite is true. Your brain loves to grow, no matter how many candles were on your last birthday cake. That's why the next lifestyle tweak is to keep learning something new. And no, I don't mean enrolling in a college course, unless you wanna. It could be as simple as trying a new recipe, reading a book about a topic you've always been curious about, or learning a few words in another language. Even puzzles, crosswords, or learning to use a new app on your phone counts. Why does this matter so much? Because your brain is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Regular mental stimulation has been linked to a lower risk of dementia and better memory retention. It also boosts your confidence and gives you a sense of progress, which is incredibly motivating. I know some people worry they're too old to learn something new, but that's just not true. In fact, older adults often learn better because they have more patience, more life experience to connect the dots, and a deeper appreciation for growth. So go ahead, try that painting class, join that book club, or finally figure out how to send emojis in a text message. Every new thing you learn adds a little more spark to your days and strength to your brain. And while we're talking about brightening our days, let's not forget something so simple we often overlook it: getting outside. You know that warm feeling you get when sunlight touches your face? That's not just comfort, it's health. Sunlight helps our bodies produce vitamin D, which is crucial for bone health, immune strength, and even mood. It also helps regulate your sleep cycle, something many people struggle with as they age. Even just 15 to 20 minutes outside each day can make a big difference. It doesn't have to be a power walk or a hike in the mountains. Sitting on your porch with a cup of tea, taking a slow stroll to the mailbox, or tending to a garden all count. Being outside also brings you closer to nature, and nature has a funny way of calming us down, even without words. The trees don't rush. The birds don't worry. There's a kind of peace in the air that you can't get from a screen or ceiling. And when you let yourself breathe that in, it lifts the weight from your shoulders. It reminds you that you're still part of something big, something alive. So, whether it's the food you eat, the thoughts you feed your mind, or the sunlight on your skin, these small changes aren't about doing more. They're about doing better. They're about making space in your life for the things that truly nourish you. And over time, they quietly work behind the scenes, adding strength to your body, joy to your mind, and yes, maybe even extra years to your life. It's never too late to make a change. And you never need to do it all at once. Just one small step at a time. Choose one thing. Try it. Feel it. Let it become part of your rhythm. Then take the next step when you're ready. Because when it comes to living longer and living well, it's not about grand overhauls. It's about small, loving choices that add up over time. The kind of choices that say, I still care, I'm still growing, I'm still here. Isn't it something how just stepping outside, breathing in the fresh air, and letting the sun warm your skin can shift the way a whole day feels? It's a reminder that life's most powerful medicine often doesn't come in a bottle, but in small, quiet moments of connection with ourselves and the world around us. And that brings us to another lifestyle tweak that might surprise you. It doesn't require equipment, money, or even a big time commitment, but it can have a lasting impact on how long and how well you live. I'm talking about sleep. Now, I know that after a certain age, sleep can become, well, complicated. Maybe you fall asleep easily, but wake up at 3 a.m. staring at the ceiling. Or maybe your legs feel restless, or your mind starts racing just as your head hits the pillow. But here's the truth. Quality sleep is not a luxury. It's a necessity, especially after 60. When we sleep, our bodies go into repair mode. Cells heal. The heart gets a chance to rest. The brain clears away waste that builds up during the day, literally flushing out toxins. And missing out on good sleep, night after night, doesn't just leave you groggy. Over time, it can increase your risk of heart disease, diabetes, depression, and even memory problems. So what can you do? Start small as always. Create a gentle bedtime routine. Maybe dim the lights an hour before bed. Turn off screens. Play calming music. Sip some warm herbal tea. Or read a chapter of a book you love. Keep your bedroom cool and comfortable. Your body sleeps better in a slightly cooler space. And try to go to bed and wake up at the same time each day. These little habits signal to your brain that it's time to wind down. Even if sleep is a challenge right now, don't give up on it. Keep treating bedtime like a sacred ritual. Because when you start sleeping better, everything else, your energy, your mood, your health, starts getting better too. Now, there's one more lifestyle shift I want to share with you. And it might be the most powerful one of all, because it touches every part of your life. Your mindset. It's easy to think of aging as a slow decline, that after a certain point, things only get harder, weaker, dimmer. But that's just one version of the story. What if instead we saw this chapter as a chance to live with even more clarity, more wisdom, more freedom? Because honestly, this time of life can be a gift. And the small tweak here is to choose optimism, not fake cheerfulness or pretending everything is perfect, but the quiet decision each morning to focus on what's still possible, to notice what's going well, to find purpose, even in small things. Science backs this up. Studies show that people with a positive outlook on aging live longer, sometimes by as much as 7 years. And it makes sense. When you believe life is still worth living, you take better care of yourself. You stay curious. You stay hopeful. And that creates a ripple effect in your body and mind. So, how do you nurture a more optimistic mindset? Again, it starts with the little things. Start a gratitude journal. Every morning or evening, write down 3 things, just 3, that made you smile or feel thankful. Maybe it's your grandchild's laugh, a good cup of coffee, a phone call from an old friend. These moments may seem small, but when you put them together, they paint a picture of a life still full of richness and meaning. Another way to shift your mindset is to surround yourself with positive voices. That could mean watching videos that lift you up, reading books that inspire you, or spending time with people who see the good in life. Joy is contagious. So is hope. The more you welcome those feelings into your world, the more they'll grow. And most of all, be kind to yourself. Aging is not about becoming less. It's about becoming more yourself, more honest, more present, more aware of what truly matters. Every wrinkle, every silver hair, every moment of stillness has meaning. You've made it through so much. You're still here. And that alone is a reason to celebrate. So let's take a breath together. Right now, inhale slowly, hold it, and exhale gently. Let that breath remind you you're alive. And that means today is another chance to take care of yourself. Another chance to laugh, to learn, to connect, to grow. You don't need to chase youth. You don't need to be who you were 20 years ago. You only need to be who you are today. And trust that's more than enough. Because all these small shifts we've talked about, moving your body, breathing deeply, eating with care, learning, sleeping, choosing joy, they're not chores. They're gifts. They're little ways of saying, my life matters. My health matters. I matter. And if you start making even one of these changes, you might be surprised at how quickly your days feel a little brighter, your steps a little lighter, your heart a little fuller. It's not magic, it's momentum. And you can start building it right now, right here, exactly as you are. So here we are. We've walked together through these gentle shifts, each one simple, yet powerful in its own way. And maybe as you listen, you thought, that sounds nice, but is it really enough to make a difference? Let me tell you something that most people overlook. It's not the giant leaps that change your life. It's the small, steady steps you take each day, the moments when you choose to move your body, even when the couch looks cozy, when you reach for water instead of soda, when you pause for a deep breath instead of letting stress tighten your chest. Those moments may seem small, but they're what builds strength, resilience, and vitality over time. Adding years to your life isn't about perfection. It's about showing up for yourself. It's about giving your body, mind, and spirit what they need, not with pressure or guilt, but with care, with compassion, with the quiet belief that you are worth the effort. And if you've ever thought, it's too late for me, I want to gently challenge that thought. You're not too old. You're not too late. You haven't missed your chance. In fact, this may be the most perfect time to begin. Why? Because you know yourself better now. You've lived through joy, loss, change, growth. You understand what matters. That wisdom gives you an advantage. It helps you choose what really supports you, not what's trendy or popular, but what actually feels good and does good. You see, longevity isn't just about living longer. It's about living better, having the energy to play with your grandkids, the clarity to enjoy a good book, the strength to walk through your garden or take a trip with friends. It's being able to show up for your life fully, not just in body, but in spirit. And if you've been feeling stuck or tired or a little lost in the shuffle of everyday life, I want you to know that's okay. That's normal. But you don't have to stay there. Just one small change can start the shift. Maybe today you take a short walk after lunch instead of heading straight to the TV. Maybe you try going to bed 30 minutes earlier. Maybe you call a friend you've been missing. Maybe you drink a big glass of water before breakfast. Or just take 60 seconds to close your eyes and breathe deeply. These are not small things. These are acts of self-respect, acts of love, and they matter. And here's the beautiful part. When you start feeling better, even just a little, it becomes easier to keep going. One healthy habit leads to another. It becomes a rhythm, a new normal. And suddenly, life starts to feel more vibrant again. You're not chasing youth. You're building wellness. You're not trying to turn back time. You're choosing to make the time you have more joyful, more energized, more meaningful. And that is something worth doing every single day. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What's one small change you're thinking of trying? What's something you used to love that you'd like to bring back into your life? Share in the comments. I read them. And your story might inspire someone else who's watching and wondering if they can make a change too. And if this video gave you even one helpful idea or a bit of encouragement, give it a thumbs up. It helps more people find this message. And if you like more simple, uplifting videos like this one on health, mindset, aging well, and finding joy after 60, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We're building a community here of people who believe that growing older can be beautiful, strong, and full of life. Thank you for spending this time with me. It's been a true pleasure walking through this with you. Just remember, your future isn't written yet. Every breath, every step, every small choice is shaping it. So take it one day at a time. Be gentle with yourself. Keep choosing life in all its messy, wonderful, surprising beauty. Here's to living with purpose. Here's to choosing joy. And here's to living your best life at any age. Take care of yourself. You deserve it.